Hello friend, welcome to my channel Interview Crackers. This is a second part of a how to log in and registration with Firebase, means authentication with Firebase. So this is a second part. First part we have done the HTML parts of login and registration. So you can see this is a Firebase auth my project name, and under these login and registration components. So now we work how to registration and login event work when we click the login or submit button. So you can see this is our login and registration form. So previous video we have done the all HTML things like how to form and router works. So today we have done how to communicate with Firebase real-time store database, or how to log in and register data on a Firebase. So we can go the our folder cd Firebase auth. Now we go the app module.ts. For first time we include the form modules. So first we write import bracket @angular/forms, and under bracket we can write form modules and import the form modules. This is choose form modules and copy here, and we can put under the import section. So now a module we are successfully imported form modules. Now we go to login.component.html file. Now we can add here form, and we can add ng submit. When we click the button, then all data goes to file login component.ts file. So first of all we take in the type email, then we can change a placeholder, enter email id, we can set is a record, and password also we can set the record. Now we can take the ng model. First of all we can add the form, so we can choose the div where we edit the form. We can insert here form and close, and we can copy the close tag, form close tag, and paste under the div. Now we can put here ng submit with function name login. We can type here login bracket. This is our login function. When we click, all the data sent within login function. Now we take in there is a ng model for data winding. Now we can write the here name login, email. Now we can set here the password, and we can set here the ng model. We can write here first email, copy here and paste here. Now we can copy here ng model and paste in the input type password. Then we can change the email to password. Now we can set the login function under the component login.component.ts file. We can, I think we can add form under the call md6 div, then it is work fine. So we can change the form tag under the div. Now save it. Now we can enter the login component.ts file. We can here create a method login, and we can set the alert for checking our function is a run or not. So we can write here the login form working and save it. Now we can here the two properties, email is empty and password is empty. Now save it. Now we check the browser. You can click the login. You can see login form working successfully. Now we are method login is successfully working. On login, click event. And now we going to the registration HTML registration.component.html5. Now here we changes as a login component fall. So we can copy here input tab email and paste here input type, and again we can copy input type password here, again copy paste in input type password here. Now this is a data binding. Now we can copy the form tag, we can paste here. Now we can close the form tag. Now we can change the login function to registered function for a registered user. When we click the register button, this is a register method is called. So we can copy the registered and open the register component.ts file. Now we can same add as a login component.ts file. We can take it to property email is empty and password is empty. Now we can add a method registered, and on the registered method we can alert registered form work. Now save it. Now you can see, now we can refresh the browser. It is a, if we have saved the all files, registered file save, now you can see registered form work successfully. If you click the login, so login form is worked. So our both event login and registration work fine. Now here we take in the error message for show the error when we click the registration or login button. So it is, if we have any error, so it is show the error message. Now second error, we can take in the array type like name and message. It is define the Firebase error if we get the error from Firebase site, like email is a badly format, or your password is incorrect, or any error, so it is show the error. So we can take the two, name is string and message is string, and we can set all those empty. Name is empty and message is empty. Now we here add instance of is equal to colon. This is error about colon, so we can add here double colon for store the value empty, like this. So we can here comment for Firebase error handle, and here we add comment. This is a validation from error handle. So this is our error message variable completed. Now we go to next step. Now we add a service. So open a terminal and write a command ng generate as for service. So this is our app. So we add now service. Now it is service is successfully added. Now you can see auth service is successfully added. Now in a register component.ts file we can import the service file. We can set the service path here. This is a service folder. Under the service we choose the auth service.ts file. Now we can set is a auth service. Now we can add in a constructor. So we can take here private auth service colon auth service. Now we can remove here registered and a condition if this dot email this dot validate form is our function for validate the all input and input data. So if our data is validated, then it is enter the service, then it is hit the service file. So first we add the validate function. We can pass here two parameter, email and password. Now we can set here if our data is validate, then we can add then we add the service function. We can import here. First we can go in the auth service.ts file and import here Firebase module. I am import here angular fire auth from angular/fire/auth. Now here we inject the service, so we can write private AFU short form angular fire auth and double colon angular fire auth. Now we import here router. If we choose the route, so we can add the double quoted router from angular@routes router. Now we inject private router double colon router. Now we create a function for a create user. If we hit the registration button, then all data going to the Firebase for registered. So we can first add another variable auth state. We can choose the data type any, and we can set the value null. In a constructor, we can set here this dot afu dot auth state dot subscribe. Under bracket we can use auth denotes to this dot auth state is equal to auth. Now we add the function for a registered. So here we can first pass the all data to the service. So we can use this dot auth service dot, this is a function name. We can set here register with email. This is our function, and we can pass the value this dot email and colon this comma this code password. This is our two data. We can set the registered with email function, and this function we can set in the auth service.ts file. We can set here after the data is successfully written, then we can add then. If we get the response, then what perform. First of all, we add the registered with email function, and we can choose here to data type email for string and password for string. Now here we can import the router. For is our data is successfully registered, then we can set the route and going to the user info route. So you can see we can set here route and inject in a constructor. Now we can write here this dot route dot navigate bracket slash user info. we set the wrong bracket, so we can remove brackets and set is under. Now we can as a catch method for error handle. You can see we can write here catch, and we can take this dot error is equal to underscore error. This is all errors stored in an error variable. Now here we can write this dot router. If we get any error, then navigate to the registered route. Now this is a complete registered function for store the data on a Firebase. Now we go the auth survey.ts file, and we can here return this dot afu dot. This is a method of Firebase create user with email and password. You can write here for registered on a Firebase, so you can use the create user with email and password method, and we can pass the value email and password. Then we can use user this dot auth state is equal to user. Now we can add catch for error handler message. Now we can here error, now we can add here console.log, also print the error in a console, so we can add here error, and also write a function inside the console.error throw error. So this is a complete method for store the data on a Firebase. So here you can see we can add the validation function. If email dot length is equal to 0, triple is equal to is a 0, then it is show the message. We can set the error message under the error message variable, this dot error message. Email is empty, please enter email ID, and return false. Now we can set the validation for a password. We can copy here, and paste below, and we can change the email to password. If password dot length is equal to 0, then it is show the message please enter password. And if validation is false, then return false. Now we set the password length. If password dot length less than equal to 6, password dot length we can change here less than equal to 6, then it is stored the error message in error variable. Password should be at least 6 character. Now if our validation is not false, so we can set the error message empty and return the true. Now this is a validation function, our is completed, and registration function is also completed. Now we check our registration is successfully working or not. So is a registration is complete fine. We can set the error message. So is error message or length greater than is a 0, then it is show the error message. If we can set another div for a Firebase error handler, if error dot message dot length is greater than 0, then this show the message for a Firebase error. So we can save. Now we can check, click the register. The email address is badly format. Now we can change the place of the error. So we can copy here, we can go the registration.component file. Now we can first add a clear error method function. First we if we click the again the registration, then it is clear the all previous message and show the new message. So this is the error message is empty. We take in the second, this is error for a Firebase is also we can set the name and message value is empty. Now this is a clear error message method. Now we can the function inside the registered. This dot clear error message. Now save it. We can change the error message div. We can copy here, cut here, and create a new div for error show. We can set here div class from group and paste the all error message here and save. You can can see if we click the register, then error is shows this email address is badly format. If we type ashu@gmail.com, then click, then also is a new message. The password must be 6 character long or more. Now we set a password. Now here we can a new message. If we done the all registered and not any error, then it is show registered is done. So we can add a new variable message, and we can add here this dot message. You are registered with Firebase with data on Firebase. Now we save it, and here we set a 1 hour message, copy and paste here under below. We can set here message dot length greater to 0, then it is show the message text dot info. Now save it. Now if you click the registered, this is email is badly format. Now we can type the email address ashu@gmail.com. Now it is asking for 6 character long or more. We can type your password, 6 character password, then registered. Then you can see you are registered with data on Firebase. You can go to the firebase.google.com. Go to the console. Now you select a project folder. My folder is a Firebase auth. Go to the authentication, and you can see the user tab. You can see ashu@gmail.com is a successfully insert. You can see the date 22 May 2020, and you can go to back to login. If we registered the another data, so we can type here amit@gmail.com, then register. It is show the error message 6 character long. We can add the 6 character. Then you can see the you are registered one into Firebase. You now refresh the Firebase console. You can see the amit@gmail.com is also insert. Now we can if click the second time, so it is a define the this address is already in use. Now you can see the two records successfully insert. First is a Amit, first is a Ashu, and second is a Amit@gmail.com. Now we can add the now we go to login component.ts file, and we can set here as a same as a registered component.ts file. So we can copy the all files registered component.ts file and paste to login component.ts file. Also constructor we can copy and paste here, and we can also copy the all email, password, error message, also variable, and paste here. Now we can also copy the clear error message and paste here. Now we can also now we can go to login component.html file. Now here we set the error message, so we can go register component.html file, copy here, and we can paste here login component.html file, and we also remove the message registration is successfully. This is error because we can remove. Now we can remove the error message. Now here we can remove the message, and also now we can copy the registration function and paste another login. Now we here copy the validate function and paste here. Now we here remove the message and uncomment the route path. If we successfully log in, then is it redirect to user info path. Now here we change, if we get any error, then it is redirect to login. Now here we change the function name. My function is a registered to login with email. So this is a complete login component.ts file. Now we can copy the login with email and go to the service file, login.ts file, and here we can copy and pass the email and password variable. Now here we copy the also registration method codes and paste here. What change login method, so we can copy here and paste here, and we can change only the method, Firebase method here, sign in with email and password. This is only change. Now save it. Now we add the get method for. Now first we will set the sign out method. If we log in, then if we click the sign out button, then it is sign out to all data. So we can set here this dot afu dot sign out. Sign out is a Firebase function. and also add the route, this dot 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 navigate to login. If we click the sign out button, then we can redirect to login route. Now save it. Now we add a all get method for get all the data for a Firebase. So we can add the four method. First is a it user instrument login. So we can add here four method. First, user synchronous login, current user ID, current username, and current user. This is a four method we have added. Now we can here add comment. This is a all Firebase get data functions. Now this is a auth server.ts file completed. Now go to user info component.html file. Here we can add the all. Now first of all we import the service. Import. We can copy here auth service and route both and paste here. Now we can add the constructor, also copy and paste here. Now we can set here the our user info. So first of all we can create a div class container. And under the container we can take in the row class and set a justified content center. And we can also add the class user info, tags dash info. We can add a condition ng if is equal to, this is a auth service we can add auth service dot current user. So we can remove. Now we can set here the auth service dot current user. Then we can set the h5 class text primary. We can change the class name all data, and here we can write interpolation like double brackets. Now we can use the user information. This is a heading. Now we can add the user ID, so we can write here bold tag under the, we can write user ID colon, and right here with choose double bracket, auth service dot user ID. User ID we can copy the auth service file, get data user current user ID. Now we can copy here and paste here, and we can set the user name, sorry, user email. Then we can copy here the current username. Now save it. Okay, this is a error. We can choose a cannot choose a class private, so we can go to user component ts file, we can change here public. Save and compile. And you can see it is successfully compiled. Now we can add here a button for a sign out, so we can add a auth service dot sign out function here. Now save it. Now we can change here is a h5 to s2. Now save it. Now save it the all files, all code is done. We can also add the padding. Now save it. Now go to your browser and click this is email address is badly format. So now we can go to registered and we can type the email ID Pawan. Add this email is badly format, so we can write pawan@gmail.com. and click the password must be 6 character long, so we can add the password 123456 and registered. You are registered with data on Firebase, so we can go to the Firebase and refresh it, and you can see pawan@gmail.com is successfully created. Now we can go to login. Now we can enter the email ID pawan@gmail.com. The password invalid on user does not have a password, so we can enter the password. You can see we can enter the wrong password, so it is a password invalid message. Now we can add the true password. Now login. Now it is redirect to user info, but our information is empty, so this is error. So we can check inspect element, so we can click on the inspect element, right click. You can see in a console log the password is invalid or user does not have a password. So we sign out here and again login. then we can enter the pawan@gmail.com, and now you can see user information successfully fetched. User ID is and email ID is this. Now you can check is a user ID J90 started, and you can see here is a started ID J90. So is a complete fetch the data from a Firebase. If you click logout, then it is redirect to login. If we can log into new login ID, so we can add ashu@gmail.com, and we can set a password and enter. Then you can see you will fetch the ashu@gmail.com ID. So it is fetch on a Firebase authentication method.